How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading whether prices going up or down. Shiba Inu and Shibarium update. Major progress coming. Via Twitter, the team behind Shiba Inu's Metaverse project SHIB the Metaverse announced that they are releasing another preview of the 11 hubs, Rocket Pond, in a few days. This will be one of two that they have released lately. The official Shiba Inu Twitter account also retweeted the announcement and highlighted a contest where SHIB Army members can win land in the metaverse. The giveaway comes from the new SHIB the Metaverse Twitter account, which launched on April 11th. Participants in the giveaway must follow the new Twitter account and retweet the announcement. Since the contest ends on April 30th, it can be assumed that the alpha preview for Rocket Pond will be released afterwards. Rocket Pond is one of the 11 hubs, as we mentioned. The other was Wagmi Temple, which was shown on SXSW 2023 Festival, so not too long ago. Another update, currently organizing an AMA with Hubai Exchange, AMA with Certalink, a possible partnership or collaboration having a customized SHIB cold wallet. So we're gonna see possibly them get on Huobi, which is, I believe, the Chinese exchange, and Certalink possibly working with them to bring up their security score, as they're about 76th place on, which ain't too bad considering there's like 20,000, but they could probably bump this 94.3 up, but that 94.3 is probably still really good. I know if you have a 90 on like SEO, that's good. CFTC cracks its largest fraud case involving Bitcoin, orders offender to pay $3.4 billion penalty. A whopping $3.4 billion, Cornelius joins Steinberg, the CEO of Miner Trading International Property Limited, MTI, to pay in a connection with a large-scale fraud case involving Bitcoin. So that's how much he has to pay because he's the head of a large-scale operation running a Bitcoin fraud. It's going to get a little more detailed when we get toward the end of the article. As part of the settlement, half the amount will go toward providing resolution to the victims, and the other half will be a civil penalty, which is the highest civil penalty the CFTC has done in any case. According to the CFTC, an order of defaulting judgment and permanent injunction against Steinberg and MTI has been entered by Judge Lee Yackel of the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas. So this means that he will no longer be able to trade anything. Like, almost. We can show that in the bottom. The agency conceded that orders requiring payment of funds to victims may not result in the recovery of any money lost because wrongdoers may not have sufficient funds or assets. So they're saying even though we're trying to charge them with $3.4 billion, don't expect to get anything. Per the order, Steinberg engaged in an international fraudulent multi-level marketing scheme, MLM, to solicit Bitcoin from the public for participation in unregistered commodity pools, which was operated by MTA, a South Africa-based company. Now, they were illegally operating as they were not registered as a pool operator like you're supposed to be. I lost the part where, right here it says he will be unable to operate any capacity that involves trading in commodity futures, options, or swaps, or engaging in retail foreign exchange trading, among other activities that are subject to CFTC oversight. Bitcoin miner Bitfarms hits new hash rate high amid Argentine expansions, and a few other expansions, but on Thursday the group hit a hash rate of 5 exahash per second, meaning 5 quintillion hashes per second were achieved, so this is very good as not many places have these kind of numbers. The all-time high was attributed to the expansion of production at its farm in Argentina, and that farm is about to get a major ramp up. This has continued to increase as the business takes advantage of low energy costs in the region where, like Argentina and other countries, they're also in Rio Cuarto, which made them get a little bit of a bump, which went live in September, but Argentina's the main focus right now. 2,100 new miners were energized earlier this week, while some existing miners who had been underclocked were brought to full capacity. He added that this business is now targeting a hash rate of 6 exahash per second by the end of the year, as it takes advantage of further expansion opportunities, which the company already has purchased 6,200 new Bitmain and MicroBT miners, which will bring them to 5.7 extra hashes per second, which they're already will be in transit shortly, so when those arrive, they'll be very close to their goal just off of that purchase. Onto the charts. So Bitcoin dominance is on the hourly. So on the daily, we're getting a little bit of a hammer candle, inverted hammer. So that's not too good for us. We're fluttering around, can't really seem to push to much higher. Stochastic's starting to round out, RSI is starting to flatten out. Our momentum is starting to round out, our VWAP is starting to come down. So this could be a bit of a top signal, as when you get these, you tend to fall. Over on our total market cap, which is everything besides Bitcoin and Ethereum, we are getting an indecision candle, don't know where we want to go. RSI is trying to overall head up, but we're kind of flattening out. Stochastic is getting close to a cross, but it's a bearish cross, so that's not good, especially with that RSI having no strength. Our money flow is very weak, just above that bullish zone, but it doesn't have any strength really. VWAP is kind of trying to come up, but it's just riding under that neutral zone. So it's slightly bearish, just like that money flow is slightly bullish. Momentum is trying to come up, but we're still not getting any green dots here. So over on Bitcoin, we do have a red candle, which is an inverted hammer candle as well. So we explain what that means. We're also getting a reversal sign, which means the previous trend can change, which the previous trend was upwards. So I've been warning for about 2 days, we might get some signals here. RSI is starting to kind of inch out very slightly. Stochastic's starting to round off. Money flow has flattened out, and our VWAP has flattened out as well. Our momentum is starting to curl downwards just under that neutral, so that's not very good for us either. Over on the 4 hour, our RSI is pretty flat. Stochastic's trying to get a bullish cross, and our momentum's trying to curl upwards above this bullish area, so that is good for us. But our money flow is very weak in the bullish territory, which isn't very convincing. Our VWAP is trying to head up, but it's not having very much luck. If we look at the 2 hour, have a bit of a another trend line. Could have a bit of a pendant here or a symmetrical triangle, which is if it breaks as a symmetrical triangle, you take about half of the triangle and that'd be your break, so that could take us down to support or to resistance, since we're kind of in between both. So not very good pattern. That's why they're kind of sloppy to try and trade on unless you have a conviction which way it's going to go. Our stochastic is starting to roll over. RSI is pretty much flattened out. Our money flow is overall been pretty flat over the last several candles. Momentum's starting to round off. Our VWAP is very weak above this bullish zone, about a 10, and it's flattening out, so not too good. Over on the 1 hour, our VWAP is coming out. Our momentum's starting to roll over. Stochastic is running up very strongly, but it's probably about to take a breather. And I don't know why it does that every time I click the X. Our RSI is trying to head up, but our money flow overall is trending out. So we're pretty bearish looking, with the momentum looking like it wants to curl, VWAP coming down, and money flow overall inching out. Over on our futures, we haven't created any new gaps since yesterday, so we're going to just move on. Over on graph, we have started to break down from our pattern, which I did warn that every time we hit this, it is getting weaker. RSI is starting to slightly head down, Stochastic's about to make a bearish cross. Money flow looks like it could start to curl downwards. It's somewhat very weak under that neutral zone. Doesn't have very much strength here, so it could come back up, but it's been trying to come up and hasn't gone anywhere. VWAP is trying to go up, but it hasn't managed to break up either. Our momentum looks like it wanted to round, but it's starting to curl away a little bit. so we may get a red dot, which would not be too good for us. Over on the 4 hour, our RSI is trying to curl upwards, stochastic's trying to curl with a bullish cross. Our money flow overall is bearish, so that's not too good. It is trying to head up though. Momentum is trying to get a bit of a curl here, so we could get saved by the 4 hour depending on how our other patterns look, or time frames look, sorry. Our RSI is trying to head up here on our 2 hour, stochastic's trying to head up, but it looks like it could start to curl out. VWAP was running up pretty strongly, but it's starting to lose momentum. Our money flow is in the bearish territory and just riding under that neutral zone. Our momentum did curl up with a green dot, however that hasn't really propelled us anywhere. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic's starting to curl. RSI is trying to run up, but it's not really going that strong. VWAP is overall starting to curl off. Our money flow is starting to break bearish. It tried to go bullish, but it's just been flopping around. It really has no strength one way or the other right now. Our momentum's trying to curl up, but it's starting to curl away, so we could push away. Since we did break this pattern, and we didn't manage to stay in it very long, it's likely we could see this breakdown. But remember, don't go for the full measured move because it's not always a guarantee you would get a full measured move. So over on Anchor, we are kind of just sliding away here. We could kind of make a bottom, like U still. We'll kind of have to see. Our stochastic's starting to reject away. RSI is starting to point away. Money flow is in the bearish territory and starting to curl away from the neutral zone, so not too good there. Our momentum is trying to curl upwards with a green dot, but with everything else pointing down and curling bearish, I'm not too convinced that green dot is going to necessarily help us. And that green dot was from yesterday, and we kind of lost today. How did we? Okay, there we go. So money flow is kind of rejecting away from the neutral zone. It did try to go bullish, but didn't really get much momentum, so now we're testing bearish again. Our RSI is pointing upwards, but overall kind of weak. Stochastic is trying to head up, but we're underneath this neutral zone, so not too good for us. Our momentum is trying to get a bit of a curl, but overall looks like it's going to head out pretty sharply. So I'm not too convinced that we'll get a good move. 2 hour looks a little bit better here with our momentum. It is curling up a little stronger, but our money flow looks like it wants to come back down. VWAP is heading up, stochastic's heading up, and our RSI are heading up though, so maybe our money flow can start to recover from here. Over on the 1 hour, money flow is bullish. It is kind of just riding near that neutral zone, so maybe this can pick up some momentum and help propel the 2 hour forward. The 2 hour seems to be the only one that's really in the red right now. Oh, the 4 hour is too, but the 1 hour is trying to come and bring us back up. We didn't really dip except way back here, so we'll have to see if we can kind of propel forward. Momentum's trying to head upwards, kind of rounding though. RSI is starting to point downwards, so I'd be a little weary. Over on XRP, we got a bit of a move up, which is good. So we if you remember, I said we had that symmetrical triangle, which could be a bear pendant. We are currently kind of breaking up from it. This would be about the full move though, so we may get a bit of a cool off now. We'll have to wait and see, but there seems to be a lot of bullish rhetoric around XRP currently, so we'll have to see. Stochastic's starting to head upwards, RSI is starting to curl upwards, money flow is recovering, our VWAP is heading upwards, and our momentum is trying to head up with a green dot, so we look pretty decent here. Over on the 4 hour though, our stochastic's starting to kind of taper away, getting lower highs, even though price is trying to make newer highs, very slightly newer highs, but our stochastic is going to attempt a new high, so we'll have to see if we can set a new high with a new high on our stochastic or not. Otherwise, we could set a bigger bearish divergence on that stochastic. And our momentum is curling, so if a divergence formed, that would not be too good. Our money flow is bearish, or kind of flip-flopping bearish bullish, doesn't know where it wants to be. VWAP is trying to head up after attempting to break down, but just bouncing off that neutral zone. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic's starting to curl, RSI is pointing away, so that's not too good for that 4 hour to not have a bearish divergence form. Momentum's starting to curl down, money flow is starting to curl down, VWAP's starting to curl down, so everything's starting to look like we could take a bit of a breather here. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic's rounding off and curling has a bearish cross. RSI is heading down. Our momentum is heading down with the red dot that could confirm. Our money flow overall is trending out currently. Our VWAP is heading down and attempting to break the bearish zone. So we'll have to see if it can break bearish with the stochastic starting to fall. And last but not least, we have algo. So we tried to retest the support. If we can keep doing this, eventually we could break above. As remember, every time you hit the pattern, or a support or a resistance, that gets weaker. RSI is kind of flat here. Stochastic's pretty flat. Momentum and our money flow is pretty flat. Our VWAP's getting a little bit of a peak up though, so not very much going on for the daily. 4 hour, we're setting up a bullish divergence on a momentum, so that is good. Stochastic's starting to head up with a bullish cross, but our RSI is kind of flat. VWAP is trying to head up after breaking bearish, so we are trying to head up. Money flow is trying to head up, so we'll have to see how the lower time frames look. If those continue forward, we could probably push forward. The 2 hours not too good here on the money flow as we're starting to round off. VWAP's starting to round off, stochastic's starting to round off, RSI is about to start to round, and our momentum looks like it could reject. So everything's looking kind of bearish on the 2 hour, and this looks like it could start to be a bit of a round. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic's about to make a bearish cross, RSI is pointing downwards, momentum is about to curl down, so not too good there. Our money flow is very close to that neutral zone, and our VWAP is just as close, so not looking too good on the 1 hour either. Everything's looking kind of bearish, like we could kind of see money move into stable coins. We'll have to kind of see what happens. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night.